All right, continuing the conversation for harsh versus soft, we can talk about harsh versus soft modifiers. Modifiers that have silver are going to produce much harsher light than modifiers that have white. Earlier we discussed how modifier size will determine harsh versus soft. Well, so will silver versus white. So if you have the exact same size modifier, the silver will produce much harsher light. And harsher light, again, will have quicker transitions between highlights and shadows. The center of the exposure of where the light hits is going to be brighter than the outside. The fall off of light is going to be much harder and much faster. So if you want to evenly light something, you'd want to use like a white modifier. If you want to isolate something, you'd want to use a silver. Another benefit to silver is it's much more, you get much more power out of the light. ProPhoto B1X, we'd use like power 8, but to get the same exposure on the camera, we'd have to pump this up to maybe a whole stop. Usually there's about a stop to a stop and a half difference between white and silver. So now that we know the difference between white and silver modifiers, let's test it out on our subject and see what the differences are. Right now we have our ProPhoto extra large silver umbrella. We're going to see what that looks like on our subject. All right, perfect. So you can see in the silver modifier, the light's much more contrasty. The light fall off is much harder. Looks good, so let's transition to the white modifier. Perfect. So you can see that the light spreads a lot more evenly. It's a lot flatter of an image, which again, you can use that to your benefit. You know, it depends on what you're going for in the image. Another way that we can soften harsh modifiers is by adding a white diffusion to the front of them. So this is our ProPhoto extra large silver umbrella. And now we're going to do a couple of shots where we add the white diffusion just to soften up how harsh the light is. Perfect. You can see that the diffusion definitely blended the shadows and highlights much more evenly. There's no hot spot anymore. The contrast is much less. Yeah, it looks good.